All right, so what we're getting here on the little computer dash panel here is low beam warning, which basically is saying that one of the bulbs is burnt out. So that's what we're going to change. So when you pop open the hood here, you can actually see that everything is quite compact and tight inside there to try to change that bulb out. And I know some sites and YouTubers and whatever have been saying you have to take this whole panel and the light housing and everything apart, and that's not really the case. So I'll show you how to do this fairly simple. So if you have to change the actual running light, not the high beam low beam light, there's a little compartment in here which is really easy to access. So you just pop these little tabs, which are, they just pop open like that, and now you can access inside here. Hard to see, but there's a little cap there that you remove to change out the running light bulb. Now going to this one here, which is our main bulb that we're going to change, which is the high beam low beam bulb. First off, there's a little right here, just sitting underneath the box here next to the battery, is this little clip, and all you do is you just slide that whole thing out just so it gives you easier access. So if you just push that to the side, you'll see down in here there's a little cap, that guy there, and all we're going to do is just reach down in there and turn it to the driver's side, and then that little cap comes right off. Okay, that over there, and then you're going to reach inside there, just move that wire out of the way, and reach into that hole, and you'll feel the actual bulb. Again, turn it to the right, which is to the driver's side, and that whole bulb should slide right out, which it does. And then you see it's right here. And now we're going to unplug it. So once you have the plug, once you actually have the plug out, and you're trying to figure out how to unclip that, it's got a little tab here, and all you're going to do is lift that tab up and pull on the bulb. So it's easier to show. There's what that looks like. It's a little tab here, and it's on the actual wire. If you're somewhat handy, this should be pretty simple. It's just a little tab, and you're just gonna have to pull that tab up, and then it unclicks from this little nub here, little locking nub, and you just slide her out. So here's the actual bulb, and if you look at it, you can see it's clearly burnt out. That's what happens. They sort of turn white inside there. And what I did was I bought a replacement bulb. Being up here in Canada, there was a couple choices. I just went to a place called Bumper to Bumper. They had the best price. It was like $8. Canadian Tire has them, and down in the States you've got all of those incredible shops, Pet Boys and whatever else you guys have down there. So pretty easy to get this part. It seems like there's a lot of them out there, and we're just going to go ahead and replace this. And remember, the most important thing here is this is the old one. I can touch this, but with this new one, you don't want to be touching your greasy fingers on it. You can wear some rubber gloves, and you can take a tissue to handle it, but you don't want to put your greasy fingers on there, because that'll basically blow that bulb out fairly quickly. So what I would suggest is wearing some rubber gloves, and if you do get some grease on there, just take a little bit of isopropanol and clean it off before you you power it up. So here's the new bulb. I just kind of compare it to the old one, pretty much the same. Now we're just going to reverse this procedure. We're going to go down back into there, and we're going to plug it back in, plug the wire in, and then we're gonna put the bulb into the housing down in here, and we're gonna twist lock it, and then we're gonna put the cap back on and see if she works. So the hardest part about getting the actual bulb in there is that you're trying to line up these tabs here, which are a little bit tricky because everything is so tight in there. So you want to go in like this, and once you've felt that those tabs are in, you twist the lock down, and then the bulb's locked in. All right, and then we want to put this little cap back on, and we'll see how that goes on there. That same thing, once it's put in there, you just turn it this way, so towards the passenger side of the car, and then that locks in. And then this little cable just slides back in. I think it should be fairly straightforward. And that just locks down like that, and everything's back together, and we'll see if the headlight works. All right, so I just started the car up, and that low beam sensor, it was on, and I turned the key off and on, and it went away. So that seems to be fine, and we'll go have a look and see how it's working. And here we go. This is now working as well. Looks to be fine. I'll go turn the high beams on. And high beam is also working fine. So it's a pretty simple job. You just pretty much have to take your time and be a little patient with how you take it apart and how you line everything up. But the access point's pretty simple. Took me about a half an hour to kind of just figure it out, but it's easy to do. So good luck.